Hello everyone, my name is Jen and I used to make videos on YouTube and then I stopped and now I'm starting again. I decided I'm going to make some pregnancy videos for myself and for my daughter and for you guys and for whoever's watching. So my name is Jen. I'm 20 weeks pregnant with our first daughter, our first child. It's the first girl on my husband's side to be born in 90 years. So it's already really exciting. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I'm always out of breath. But I decided that I'm going to document the rest of my pregnancy and then see where it goes from there. So I am 25 years old. I'll be 26 on November 6th, 2017. And I am due on November 8th, 2017. So right around my 26th birthday. And my husband is 5 years older. So his friends are already all on their first and second kids. So we're starting out now. We got married last year, April 23rd, 2016. And we are from the Chicago area. So if you hear me talk about sports at all, it's the Blackhawks. It's just how it is here. So I did start to journal when I was going through all of the fertility treatments that I'm going to talk about right now. But I thought I would share it with the world. So on January 12th, 2017, we decided that we were going to start. We're going to start trying. We're going to start looking into it. And so I did go to the doctor right around, when did I go around? We went on January 16th, 2017, and it's funny because my puppy's down here. He's licking my feet. So we decided that we were going to go to the doctor, but we're not going to start anything until after we came back from Vegas. We had a trip planned for Vegas March 3rd, 2017, or March 2nd, or something like that, and so we were going to wait until after that to do it, like if we needed IUI or IVF, we were going to do all that after. But so I went on the January 16th and they did an ultrasound, and then they decided that after his semen analysis, if everything came back good with my blood work, his stuff, with everything, if everything came back good, then we were going to be on letrozole. Starting on period day 5 through 9, and then we were gonna do a trigger shot and then IUI in the first round. We decided that we wanted to wait until after Vegas to do IUI. So and since it was just January, we still had a couple months to go. So we had like 6 weeks or so. So we decided to just do all the testing. We were gonna do everything afterwards. So they wanted me to come in for an HSG, they're going to put dye through my tubes to make sure everything's open while they do an x-ray. And let me tell you, that was horrible. That pain was absolutely horrible. We went on, let's see, I have it in my journal, but I didn't really go through everything. But basically, oh, okay. So they told me to call them the day I get my period. So I got my period on January 27th, and I called and they scheduled me to come in on the 30th for blood work, for CD1 blood work, although it would have been CD4 blood work and ultrasound, and they were checking follicle size. I went in every single day for a long time to do blood work and check follicle size. And then I decided that instead of doing IUI, we're just gonna try by ourselves this month with the Femara, or with the letrozole. So we did all that, and then so I took letrozole days 5 through 9, and then I started monitoring, and they were going to tell me at what point to do my trigger shot. Now the trigger shot was Pregnal, and I was terrified, absolutely terrified. it was hot flashes, and I was all of that. And then they say, okay, go give yourself a shot. And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. Took a while, but I did it. So on February 6th, I had 7 follicles on each side, but they were all pretty small, between 4 and 6 millimeters, between, between both sides. But they said that the labs don't look super good. Like, they don't think I'm going to ovulate soon. And the follicle sizes weren't great. So nothing was really looking in our favor. But I did go in on the 6th for the HSG, and they said everything looks good. Well, reading online, which I know is like the first thing everyone does, reading online, right after an HSG, you become a little bit more fertile because they clear everything out. So I was hoping that maybe that did something. But so I went back every day, every other day even. On the 7th, the follicles were still, the biggest was 12 and 13. On the 9th, which was day 14 of my cycle, it was, the left side was 13, the right side was 10 millimeters. And then February 13th, the biggest was 18 on the left. So they told us to go ahead and start trying. So we did, and they wanted me to trigger on February 13th. Hey, they wanted me to trigger somewhere between, or between like 8 a.m., around 8 a.m. on the 13th. Sorry, gotta throw a bone. And we did, everything was great. So then I was in the 2-week wait. 2-week wait took kind of a long time, although, it took 2 weeks. On the 20th was 6 days after the shot, which is 6 DPO. Online it said you're supposed to wait 1 day per 1,000 milligrams of the trigger shot. The trigger shot was 10,000, so I should wait 10 days to test out the shot. I couldn't wait, so I waited. I waited until like day 9 or 10 to start testing, and it was faint, but it was positive. So it was on February 24th was the official first like positive test. Although I didn't know if it was from the shot or from like actually being pregnant. But then I tested again and again and again and again, and it was all positive. It was all staying positive. So I was like, okay, well, it was just the shot, I didn't have an appointment until March 1st to actually get my labs done to see if there was anything in there. So my HCG, when I went in on the 1st, was 163. That means that we are officially pregnant. Holy crap, pregnant. They told, and it was no IUI, it was nothing. It was just the drugs and the shot, and it did it. So it was kind of crazy, to say the least. So of course, that was on the 1st, and then on the 3rd, I was going to Vegas. So I freaked out. I made an appointment for the 2nd, which was the following day. I believe that Wednesday was the 1st, and then Thursday was the 2nd. I made an appointment to go to my hematologist because I know I had to get on something because I have a history of a PE, a blood clot in my lung. So they told me that I have to be on Lovenox injections every day for the rest of the pregnancy until I get to 36 weeks. Then I'm going to be on heparin injections twice a day until 6 weeks after birth. So of course I'm thinking, great, I'm going to Vegas tomorrow and I have to bring needles with me. So, and I don't do needles very well to begin with. So now I have to inject myself every day. So on the 3rd, we went to Vegas, but I had an appointment on the 3rd in the morning to do my blood again because they do it 48 hours after the initial test, and my HCG was 413, so it went up, which is good, which means everything's progressing. And then that's when I started my weekly blood and ultrasounds. every week it was growing and growing and growing, and eventually we got to hear the heartbeat, and everything was progressing very well. I believe we heard the heartbeat on the, when was it? March 17th. My husband did come with me that time because it was usually at like 6:40 in the morning or something, and it was just an ultrasound, nothing exciting, and you couldn't even really see anything. It was just to make sure that there was a sac and all that good stuff. But so I had an ultrasound on March 17th, and I was 6 weeks 4 days. My husband came with me. We got to hear the heartbeat, and it was at, she said it was perfect. It was at 110, which is good for that size. And they pushed my due date to November 6th, which is my birthday. And I had such a strong feeling that it was a boy. Like from day one, I was like, I know it's going to be a boy. I know it's a boy. But obviously we had to wait. Then on March 29th, which was the following week, the heartbeat was 171, which was getting stronger, which is awesome. And I was measuring, I was 7 weeks 2 days, and I was measuring, or I was 8 weeks 5 days, and I was measuring 7 weeks 2 days, which is awesome. What else? Oh, and then I had an appointment with my OB, just an early appointment to let them know. It was on April 5th. I'm sorry, I'm like all over the place. I'm trying to like go through this at the same time as like speaking it. But I wanted to find out about getting the genetic blood test done. So on April 5th, I had my OB appointment. I think I was I was like 8 weeks, 6 days, or I was 9 weeks, but she measured me 8 weeks, 5 days, or something like that. So she said that I can't do the test until 11 weeks, the blood test for genetics, and also does the gender. So I waited and waited and waited and waited, but I did keep going to the fertility clinic until about 10 weeks or so. And let's see when it was. Yeah, I have on 4/11 that I was measuring 9 weeks 6 days, and the baby was moving around, and the umbilical cord is very visible, measured 34 millimeters, which is 1.3 inches, and next week was the last appointment with the fertility clinic. And yeah. And then, so on April 13th, I had an appointment with the OB again to do blood work and to do the genetic testing. And I had to do the glucose drink in the beginning because I am high risk. So I did the blood test, and on April 17th, I got a call that the glucose test went fine, but I also got a call that the genetic test was fine, but the gender was in. So I freaked out because we had our 1-year wedding anniversary was on April 23rd, and we were going to do our gender reveal party on the 22nd, and so I was really glad that it came in time, but now I had to sit for a week with this paper in my purse that said that if I was having a boy or girl, although I was pretty sure it was a boy anyways. But so we had everything was healthy, a baby was fine, and so now it was just waiting for the gender. So we did have the gender reveal, and I will post a video, probably, maybe, on YouTube, but I'll post the video of the gender reveal, so I'm going to keep that part a secret for right now, but I'm just going to keep going with the story. But basically, I have not had too many appointments since that. I've only had like 1 or 2 appointments, but everything is going great. I have my 20-week anatomy scan. Well, we already know the gender, but I have the, it's going to be at like 23 weeks, but we have our level 2 ultrasound on July 11th, And so that's going to be very exciting. It's a long appointment. I haven't seen the baby in a while. But that is pretty much all I have right now. I'm going to make another video with like 21 weeks and on. So we'll see kind of what more details we have, and I'll post the gender reveal video as well. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you keep watching. Let me know what other kind of videos you'd like me to do, and I will do them. Otherwise, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.